throw-ins. There is no offsides on the throw-ins. So if we are over here and we're making this throw-in, I want the striker dropping like so. The wingback needs to come up. The center mid needs to be right here. All right. We can throw this way and play it forward. And once this ball is played this way, the striker, you need to move. All right. If we do play this way, same with you, center mid. Like backpedal a little bit, backpedal into the middle, open up, because the striker's going to be coming in at 100 miles an hour right here, and I expect you to lob that ball right up in the center. Another thing that happens a lot on our throw-ins, we get covered up. And then this person just stands here with the ball over their head for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and don't know what to do. And I'm yelling, check in, check out, lose your man. What is a check in? What is a check out? What is a lose your man? That means somebody needs to break away from their defender, come in, or backpedal and come out. And what that does is it causes this person to move in. And if this person is moving out, you just created your space. Another thing that actually happened when we were playing red the other night, I think it was Tuesday night. This was Lily, and Mia was covering, I want to say it was Aubrey Naton, and there was somebody else covering Aubrey Naton. And I told Lily, check in, run over and call for that ball. Soon as Lily started moving and she's like, ball, 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 Mia instantly broke off of Aubrey Naton to come attack Lily. And then this person was starting to come forward, and right there is the perfect opportunity to throw that ball. So in practice, girls, when we're doing these lose your man drills, yeah, it feels funny, it looks funny, you're running away from a stick, but in the reality, it's teaching you how to do this. And once you understand this, of how to get away, then it's all going to start making sense. We have to stop thinking about practice as just drills and that they really don't pertain to anything, when in reality they do. And it's all simulating stuff that happens in the game. It's not that. It's all simulating stuff that happens in the game and how to work it. Like, Ethan does a lot of different pass patterns to a shot. And you sit there and look at it as well, this is kind of dumb. Why are we going to do pass from this way, then that way, then up to here, and then drop this person in? And it's about movement on the field. All right. The only difference is we don't have a real defender chasing us. But it's things that you need to, comprehend and in your head play it as a real scenario at practice. All right, I'm moving to this stick because this stick is pretending to be a real person, and then how do we move away from this person? Obviously, the stick can't chase you, but you need to pretend in your head. It's all about imagination, and then if you can imagine this happening at practice as a real game, that's when it's really going to start clicking in the real game, and that's when you're going to start making the right decisions. Anyway, back to the board. So, back to the throw-ins. So we get this a lot, all right? And we just stand there, and we're like, I don't know what to do. Nobody's moving. What do I do? What I want to see you just do, this person, just throw this ball as hard as you can right in the middle here. Because what's going to happen then is the striker's going to come this way, they're going to come this way, you're going to come this way, and you're going to get back in. All right? If we don't have a throw to a person, just throw it as hard as you can right between people towards their goal, and stuff's going to happen. I remember Coach Adams said something the other night, or it might have been a week or so ago. If this is us, this is them, and we're pushing into their back, just put your hand up. I went over it the other night. If you got your hand up, it means lead me. All right? Hand down at your leg, that means I want the ball here. Hand up, I want the ball out. All right? Keep that in mind. Use it on the field. We don't always have to talk. All right? If we can clearly see that you're pointing like this, that means the striker wants that ball over top of him. And this, we're just going to say, is Aubrey Naton currently, because that's who's going to be starting this position. She's going to be just throwing that ball right over top of the striker, and the striker's good to go. Back to throw-ins, just like last week. On this side of the field, on our side of the field, I want to see the wingbacks throwing the ball. On this side, the right mids are going to be throwing the ball. But the wingbacks need to be advancing and covering. Remember, wingbacks, you are defense and offense. Primarily more offense than defense this week, rather than last week where I had you playing more defense. So let's regroup real quick. And go over how we're going to look. Alright. So last week we looked something like this. Alright. Especially when it comes to starting with the ball, starting lineup, or just starting off in general, whether we have the ball or not. I want these wingbacks pushed in just like so. We're going to send our... Actually, real quick, before we get too far, let's go over position names. I'll get the laser so my hand's not in your way. We have our right center back, our left center back. We have our right wing back, our left wing back. We have our center mid. We have our right midfielder. We have our left midfielder. We have our striker. And obviously the goalie. At the start of the game, or the kickoffs, this is how I want us to look. All right? We're ready to press high. Our striker is going to play the ball. Actually, and what's very nice with this is this gives us multiple directions we can start our ball off. I mean, in reality, we could even pass down here to the center backs. I don't really want to get that far back on our field to start things off. So we're just going to keep it just like so. And if we're going to play this way, I want this ball instantly going right up to the right mid, or the left mid. And as soon as our striker plays this ball, right and left mid, you need to go. Like, I can't have you standing here waiting to see what happens. You instantly need to take off and get up the field. Striker, I mean, you more or less need to get in the way of the other team's striker and slow them down, so that way they're not pressing one of our three here. But if we're playing to here, this ball needs to go instantly up. If we're playing over here, this ball needs to go instantly up that way. If we play it straight back, we need to be ready for anything, because Maddie can either play here, we can pass off here, and at that point in time, I want you to dribble. All right? Or same on this side. I want you to take it and dribble. And this person here, and the striker, you need to cover. And midfielder, you need to move up. And we need to cover her and let her dribble. And then as players get past us, that's when we need to spread, and that's when we need to get them passes off. When you're being pressed, if you're about 6 feet, 2 arm lengths away from each other, meaning the other team, that means you need to get rid of the ball now. If you can touch her, then we're too late. Unless you're able to get past her with your dribbling skills. And as we press up the field, we need to try and maintain our shape. All right? I want the wingbacks, filling in, making triangles. Everywhere we go, every way we move up and down the field, there should always be triangles between us. And these are our passing lanes. And then it's like, wow, when we look at it like that, it's nothing more than a rondo. Circle of players, one central player, rondo. And what do we do from that? We pass. We just keep it away from the other team. It's that simple. It's nothing but a big rondo. And that's why I'm trying to preach to the girls. Rondos are important. Yeah, they look silly. You know, they're boring because we do them so over and over and over. But eventually on the field, if we maintain our shape, we form a rondo. And if we're the ones if we can stand here all day and just keep passing this ball around the other team, and the other team's going to chase it, and the other team's going to get tired, and all we're doing is trapping and receiving, and we're not getting tired. And eventually, the other team's going to make a mistake. We're going to play it out. This person's going to run up. We're going to send a crossover, and bam, we're in the goal. All right? Yes, it's easy on the board, but if we understand what we're doing on the field, then it's just as easy on the board. The only difference is we got some pressure. When we're back here, you know, on our side, this is how the wingbacks and the center backs need to look. Another thing I've noticed between last week's game and just scrimmaging with Red is our midfielders are dropping way too far down. Other than corner kicks, midfield, I do not need you down here. All right, I need you up here and ready to receive a ball. All right, I got 4 girls back here. That is plenty enough. Well, technically 5. That is plenty enough players back here to protect the goal. Center backs, like I said in the last view, I do not need you over here. I need you here. All right. If they're out here, that's the wingback's problem. You just cover. You're ready to cover. Because eventually they're coming in. Alright? This one needs to back you up. This one, feel free to come in. Alright? Or shift up. Alright? You can shift up here too. That's perfectly fine. Midfielders, do not come down to the goal too close. Alright? Because this is what happened against Red. We'd win the ball, and you'd be down here. Everybody. You know, the striker's hanging out up here. We'd win this ball back. And then, but we're still under pressure, and we're trying to dribble and get rid of it, but I can't get rid of it because you're standing right next to me. You're no good standing next to me. If you're up here, you can come check in, pass this ball up, turn, and go. All right? And you're ready here. And then somebody comes approaching from you this way. Oh, I got to get rid of it. All right? And then the next player starts dropping in up here. I got to get rid of it again. And then this player starts dropping in. Well, here's my striker. We're going to play it back to the center. And then this is when the midfielder is like, hey, you know, especially if, you know, they got girls backing up, this is when the midfielder needs to turn the jets on and get ahead. And that's when they need to get ahead. And they need to get ahead. And then these guys need to get up. Because now I can play this way. But as they start to approach in, I can play it back here. Oh, wait. Now they're open. All right. Then the midfielder or the striker needs to start resuming back. And then the midfielder drops back to their position. It's all about rotations. All right. And as we get better, like we're going to move away from just set position. Because a set position is just very rigid. All right. We can't be rigid. We need to be fluid. All right. So what does that mean? Like we need to learn how to rotate. You know, if we drop here, they drift out. And they drift back. All right? This player here, they drop back. We move forward. You know, here, we drift over. That drifts back. All right? And eventually, as we start to understand this, we will get it. And the fluidity of our formation will go. And we won't look so rigid and stiff. I hope this makes sense. I hope we can do this in tomorrow's game. One thing that I really want to see tomorrow, and it will make my day if we can make it happen, is a switch. What do I mean by that? If we got our center backs here and our wing backs here, and this wingback gets this ball, I want to watch her play to this center back. I want to watch this center back start backpedaling, the ball come to her, and then this wingback backpedal to the sideline, and this ball come to her, and we play it forward. Like, I've been dying to see this happen in a game. It almost happened last week. It will make my day if we can have it happen this week. And multiple times. And if we keep doing it, we're going to score. All right? We just got to wear the other team out, let them wear themselves out, and it's going to happen. I hope that helps with our formation, what we're going to try and do this week. Once again, remember, even go back, check out the last video about the formation, especially where I talk about pressing, how to read the press. You really, really need to understand how to read the press. I mean, and not just Hayden and, the center backs. I mean, everybody. Because this person needs to be knowing when they're getting the ball. Or this person needs to know when they're getting the ball. This person needs to know when they're going to get the ball on the build-out. Very crucial. When we play this ball out, I mean, it has to be accurate. It has to be fast. You have to make a good trap with your left foot. This person's going to make a good trap with their right foot. You're going to take your space until this defender starts creeping in. And as soon as this defender is within 6 feet of you, you need to pass this ball up to the sideline. And same on this side. You're going to take the ball up until this person comes in. As soon as they're within 6 feet, you need to get rid of it, and it goes to this person instantly. At that point, we should hopefully have our midfielders set like so. And then we can play this ball to our midfielders and get out of our side and move up the field. I think that's about it for what I want to talk about tonight. Like I said, watch this video, watch the last video. Really think about your positions and where you need to be. Remember to use the lines on the field to keep yourselves from drifting back and forth too far into your teammate's position. If we want to switch positions with somebody, we need to tell them. So if, I don't know, let's just say our center back here, let's pretend this is Weckerly, and she needs to switch with, let's just say this is Quinn for right now. Like, you need to tell each other that we need to switch. All right? Overlap is the easy word to say. Switch, whatever. But we need to communicate. We definitely need to communicate better. We're all friends. We're all sisters here. We play hard off the field and have no problem talking to each other, but as soon as we get on the field, we struggle with talking to each other. All right? Nobody is being bossy. Nobody is, upset with another. All right? Nobody's trying to hurt each other's feelings. We just need to talk. We just need to know what's going on, and that way we can get into the proper positions or the proper openings to receive good passes. And that's the other thing. We need to make good passes. We need to make good traps. I cannot say that enough. Passes must be hard. Traps must be solid. The best trap to do is, you just pick your foot up off the ground and straight to the center of the ball. If your foot is on the ground when that ball hits your foot, it's bouncing off your foot. All right? Pick the foot up 2-3 inches off the ground. Let that ball hit it. All right? It kills the energy of the ball. The ball's right there in front of your foot. If your foot's on the ground, you're not receiving that ball. But all right, Lightning Cats. Once again, make sure you're hydrating. Have a good dinner. Get plenty of sleep. Have a good breakfast. And I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.